Hey guys, this is Bossmaster99 coming at you with another video, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about 5 things you should never ever think about doing if you drive a car with one of these, an automatic transmission. So the first thing I would like to talk to you guys about is you don't want to change directions while the car is still moving in the opposite direction. So for example, say you're going in reverse and you're still moving in reverse, then you go jam it in drive. Well, what happens then is inside the transmission there is a bearing that will slow the car down if you so happen to do this, and so it basically takes over the job of the brakes. So what you always want to make sure you do is you come to a complete stop before changing gears, or you can even put it in neutral before changing into a forward gear if you're still moving backwards if you really feel like it. Number 2 is don't launch your car. If your car, 9 times out of 10, if your car does not have a launch control option, it's not meant to be launched. And what I mean by this is going from neutral to drive while the engine is revving at a high speed. And that will do a hefty number on the transmission if you do that. Number 3, don't shift to neutral while you're still driving. So once you've selected a gear and started to take off, stay in gear. Do not put the transmission in neutral, because when you do this, you'll have to apply more effort to the brakes to slow the car down. There's no advantage to taking the transmission out of gear, because with the transmission still engaged, if you're slowing down, it's going to help slow the car down even more because it's downshifting automatically. I should also note that you should only think about shifting to neutral while driving if there is an emergency situation that requires you to do so, like for instance the vehicle is starting to skid or your accelerator pedal is stuck all the way to the floor and your car is a runaway car. In that case, the safest thing to do is grab the gear, put it in neutral, bring the car to a stop using the brakes, set the parking brake once the car has come to a complete stop, then turn off the engine. And the reason why I say turn off the engine before putting it in park is because, like I said earlier, you don't want to change gears with the transmission in neutral and the engine revving at a high speed. So if you try to put it in park and the engine is still spinning at a high RPM and you put it in reverse by mistake, guess what's going to happen? Your transmission is going to take a huge hit. Number 4, don't put the transmission in park until you've come to a complete stop. So normally, I've seen people, only a couple of people do this, so not everyone does this. This isn't really a big issue to talk about, but I think it would be good to talk about it anyway. So proper procedure for parking is come to a complete stop using the brakes, apply the parking brake all the way, then put it in park and turn the key. You don't want to do that. You don't want to leave it in park with no parking brake on. If your parking brake works, use that too. Use it or lose it. If you have an old car and the parking brake doesn't work, then yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. Put it in park only, because chances are if you set the parking brake, it could get stuck and leave you stranded. And the last thing I want to talk about is if you're stuck in traffic, for example, and you've had your transmission in drive and you've been stopped for more than 3 minutes, this could overheat your transmission. So if you've been stopped for a prolonged period of time, shift to neutral. Your transmission will really thank you for doing that. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out. Stay tuned for more. and I look forward to seeing you on the next upload.